Thank you very much. You may be seated. Honorable Speaker of Buffalo City, the Executive Mayor, Chief Whip, MMCs, councillors, and our distinguished guests, you are all greeted warmly so. We now come to the debate of the report of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements by our members of the legislature. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, before I call our members to debate the reports, I would like to inform the House that members of the public will only observe this session, as we have already given them an opportunity to interact with these reports. So now it's the time for the members of the legislature to actually debate the reports. So I will now call upon the Democratic Alliance, Honorable King. Honorable King, you have 9 minutes. And your 9 minutes starts now. Thank you.
Geachte voorsitter, ledes en geliefde damnaars. Ek staan voor julle nie net as 'n lid van die wetgewerie, maar ook as 'n inwoner van Buffalo City munisipaliteit. As 'n dogter van die dam wat deur dieselfde strate loop, wat dieselfde swak dienslewering en ervaar en dieselfde hoop vir ons munisipaliteit deel. Net soos elkeen van julle in Parkside, Peffeville, Buffalo Flats, Westbank, Umdansani en Breitbach. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as I stand before you today, one thing must be made unequivocally clear. This is personal for me. Wanneer ons vandag praat, doen dit met die volle gewig van persoonlike ervaring en 'n gedeelde stryd. Ek praat nie oor mense nie, ek praat as een van julle. This report is not just another file with government failures somewhere in the Eastern Cape. It is just another sad story of service delivery collapse. This is Buffalo City, my home, my people. This report is a record of deep and personal betrayal, the betrayal of ordinary families by a government that promised to serve them but choose to abandon them. Speaker, this morning the people shared with this House their reality, their insurmountable challenges, shattered hopes, and crushed dreams delivered to them not by poverty but by human settlements. In his sober address, the Premier quoted Emil Cabral, "Tell no lies and claim no easy victories." Today, that quote stands as an indictment because of this department that has done both. It has lied to the people, and worse yet, it has claimed progress while leaving families to rot in RDP units for over 15 years. For years, communities in Buffalo City have heard the same speeches, attended the same sword-turning ceremonies, and watched officials cut ribbons, yet their homes remain unfinished, their names lost on beneficiary lists, backyard dwellers excluded, and their dignity postponed. This report reflects the lived realities of unblocked projects not reaching completion, weak project control mechanism, failure to blacklist underperforming contractors, no care for the creation of homes, no care for the dignity of family, the hope of communities, and the promise of their constitutional rights. A report is only as credible as the realities it reflects, and this report speaks volumes. Airport Phase 2A, money spent, costs exploded, no electricities, no families in houses. Potsdam Equasi, 6 years later, The people live in shacks, 2 failed contractors, 0 consequences. Mtansani, 10 years almost, 1,000 people are waiting for their homes. Their children grow up in shacks and with incomplete houses, which is being stolen brick by thieves. In Breitbach and Tilton, both projects delayed, leaving foundation slabs abandoned and completed homes lacking even the most basic services. MEC Luciti and Mayor Faku handed over houses to Breitbach beneficiaries that didn't even meet NHBRC standards. When jou regte verstand handig jy 'n huis op wat nie van die regte standaarde voldoen nie. Gaan daai huise ooit krag kry? Gaan daai huise ooit voltooi word onder Luciti? The ANC says it is a people's government, by the people, for the people. Today we ask, which people? Taking legislature to the people is to listen and respond to our people. Instead, we have people sleeping in front rows and not even listening to the cries and promises of our people. The people of Buffalo City are your people, only when you need their votes. So you sit at the table and hand out tenders to contracts who don't even know a single thing how to build houses, so that you can block the blacklisting of cadres who have taken money meant for delivering houses, allowing them to secure more tenders, project after project. The people are tired of your nonsense. The people of Buffalo City, the people of Umzamomshle want houses. They want you to honor your promise and deliver. They want their mothers and their
Honorable,
fathers to have houses that don't leak.
Sorry. On what rule are you raising on Honorable Payne? Sorry.
Unparliamentary use of words, Chair. Thank you very much.
Sorry? Oh.
No, it's not. It's not unparliamentary.
Wait. Honorable King, can you please take your seat? Because I think I need to deal with Honorable Hendricks first and then deal with you. Hlala ngapha, Honorable King. It's fine. Honorable King, there's an order that has been raised by Honorable Benjamin that you have used an unparliamentary word, which is nonsense. Could you please withdraw that word and then you may continue?
I withdraw, Speaker. Die mense weet, dit is nou weer election tyd. Daai beneficiary list word nou weer afgestof. Maar na die verkiesing sit hulle nog op straat, terwyl julle met julle blou lights verbyry na julle mansions in die suburbs. Speaker, 30,884 RDP housing units across 87 projects in the province remain incomplete. These projects have already cost over 3.7 billion rand with no meaningful progress towards resolving these backlogs. 2,668 houses have been removed from next year's targets. Dis nou mense wat nog 'n jaar gaan moet wag vir 'n huis of die hoop op 'n huis. Despite issuing 13 notices of default and terminating 5 contracts, 0 accountability and 0 blacklisted contractors. To make matters worse, the department admits it owing 181 million rand to contractors for the last financial year. In August, 22 million remained unpaid for BCMM alone. And somehow, year after year, this continues with no consequences for leadership or administration. Honorable Speaker, the solutions here are simple. Sustainable building technology should be prioritized for mixed housing development, invest more in proper town planning to address spatial segregation, build houses as part of an integrated community with schools, clinics, and opportunities for upward mobility. Buffalo City needs inclusive, integrated spatial development through collaborative, independent efforts. The department must reform procurement processes, establish contractor accountability mechanisms, and ensure that projects are delivered on time, within budget, and to standard. Greater reforms for beneficiary verification and title deeds are vital. In May, the department admitted to a title deed backlog of 600 for PCM alone. These included the Second Creek residents who have been waiting for title deeds for over 10 years, and while residents of Garsha Flats and Pefferville is subjected to 99-year leases with no hopes of receiving title deeds. There are no victories here, and there are no dignities here. Janet Pretorius, Zuki Sagola, Sharon Naidu, Tulisa Gam, Mshlagabisi Mfundisi, Ngabakazi Pakati, Emisha Jikela, Nolene Hikes, Nolene Reiters. It is not your questions here today that embarrass them. It is the answers that embarrass them. MEC, we are aware of budget constraints. However, most of human settlements budgets is geared towards salaries or stuck at phase 1. Then, Honorable, we have a problem here. Speaker, we cannot stand back and say we don't know of the plight of our people who spoke here today. The report before us is clear. The people in these houses have spoken. Housing delivery, rectification, informal settlement upgrade, backyard dwelling urgently needs to be addressed. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. They cannot wait 5, 6 to 10 years for a complete house to be electrified. Honorable MEC, we must not stand here and boast and talk about the apartheid era. We know it took place. We know it happened. Let us address the failures that you and your government have given the people of the Eastern Cape. We are the most unemployed province. So MEC, Speaker in absentia, our people need houses, Speaker. Thank you.
Oh, it's fine. Awuhlalusinda. Honorable Zindi, what do you want there? What do you want there, Honorable Zindi?
I'm just putting my...
Oh, you are putting your, it's fine. You can go to it. Go to it. Thank you. Honorable Zindi, it's your turn now. The UTM, you have 3 minutes. And it starts now.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We gather here in the Buffalo City Metro Municipality to reflect on what we are doing as mandated by Section 26 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. The section guarantees every person the right to adequate housing and obligates the state to take reasonable measures to realize this right. The Human Settlement Act and other related legislation provide framework for making this a reality. But we must pause and ask ourselves, are we truly fulfilling this mandate? If we are honest with ourselves, the answer is no. Poor management and lack of coordination in housing projects have created serious challenges. From planning to implementation, inefficiencies are everywhere. Too often, opportunities of our people are swallowed by bureaucracy and corruption. At times, it feels though process is surrounded by sharks, taking advantage of a system meant to uplift our people. We need to admit this hard truth if we ever fix it. One of the biggest problems we face is the appointment of contractors to house projects. Too often, contractors from other provinces are appointed, while our local contractors, the very people who live in and understand our communities, are left behind. We cannot grow our local economy this way. We cannot empower our people if we continuously overlook them. Here in BCM, many contractors face the problem of being paid only after 2 or 3 months. That is the indirect violation of government's 30-day payment policy. How do we expect them to complete projects on time when they cannot even pay their workers? These delays frustrate and cripple our contractors, especially emerging and women-led businesses. The UDM, therefore, is calling upon Honorable MEC and HOD to take urgent steps to ensure that all contractors are paid within 30 days as required by the policy. Another major challenge is the management of beneficiary list. The list of rightful beneficiaries must be properly verified and made public. We continue to see completed houses standing empty for 1 to 3 years without proper service like water and electricity. During that time, houses are vandalized or occupied illegally, defeating the goal of providing decent house for all. Even the quality of construction in some cases leaves much to be desired. Our people deserve better, safe, and dignified homes that stand the test of time. As UDM, we are deeply concerned about the use of red and private security groups now operating even here in the Eastern Cape.
Okay, thank you very much. Whatever that is left, there is your time. There. Whatever that is left, you will submit it in the Internal Arrangements Committee. Bye. Thank you very much. Honorable Aramse from the Patriotic Alliance. You have 3 minutes. We do have time there. Yeah, you didn't have to bring your phone.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, today I stand here wearing denim because it is in solidarity with Down Syndrome Month. Let us speak honestly today. The Department of Human Settlements has failed the very people it was created to serve. Behind every statistic is a story, not numbers, but lives. It's the story of a mother who still waits for a house after 20 years, a father who built a shack on borrowed land, a child doing homework by candlelight in a flooded room. These are not statistics. They are human beings whose dignity has been eroded by corruption, incompetence, and false promises. Take Breitbach, for example, a community that did not sit quietly. They fought. In 2017, the people of Breitbach, who had not seen a single RDP project since the dawn of democracy, took to the streets, literally the N2. They stood in the cold demanding what is rightfully theirs, dignity in the form of a home. That fight led to the launch of a long-awaited housing project. And yet, years later, phase 1 still stands incomplete, half-built houses, cracked foundations, and millions unaccounted for. Hope was promised, but heartbreak was delivered. And what of Gatfall? The name itself is a cry of exhaustion because the people are tired of being told to wait their turn while officials drive luxury cars, tired of politically connected contractors who vanish after laying a few bricks, tired of sod-turning ceremonies that make headlines but never make homes. Honorable Deputy Speaker, our Constitution, Section 26, guarantees the right to adequate housing. Yet today, thousands still live in informal settlements without sanitation, without electricity, and without safety. Our people are not asking for charity. They are demanding justice. Let us stop hiding behind bureaucratic excuses. This department has failed to complete projects and ignored oversight recommendations. The Auditor General has exposed weak contract management, ghost beneficiaries, and projects abandoned midstream, yet no one is held to account. The department speaks of spatial transformation, yet the poor remain pushed to the outskirts, far from jobs, far from schools, far from opportunity. Tell me, Deputy Speaker, how do we call that progress? The time of political niceties is over. If officials cannot deliver, they must step aside for those who can. We cannot continue applauding mediocrity while our people live in shacks. The truth is simple. Our communities are full of excuses, full of corruption, and full of empty promises as they live in full. Human settlements must be about restoring dignity, not headlines. About building homes, not slogans. About action, not endless plans. Until that happens, we still continue to raise our voices unapologetically for Breitbach, for Gatfall, and for every forgotten South African still waiting for the house they were promised.
Okay, wait. I think there's someone who's, please take a seat. This side. Honorable Saziwa, on what rule are you standing on?
I'm rising, Honorable Speaker, in terms of Rule 92.
Rule 92.
Of course, I'm subject to explanation because I'm not an African-speaking person, but I know what heart is. I just want to, whether then this is carrying the same meaning as sick and tired. If then is that, and then I will withdraw. But if it's meaning something else, but khat, I know what khat is.
Okay. Can you please explain khat, Honorable, and then?
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Gatvol is sick and tired. It is also a place. It is also a
Okay.
place in BCM. So I'm using the play on words. It's called a pun.
All right, you may continue.
Thank you. In closing, until that happens, we will continue to raise our voices unapologetically for Breitbach, for Gatvol, and for every forgotten South African still waiting for the house they were promised. Why?
Thank you.
of Bayezani.
I think that your time is hard full of you. Over to you, Honorable May.
Thank you.
The date is hard full, Honorable Harams. Honorable May, you have 3 minutes. Please use it wisely.
Thank you. Indien jy na die inwoners se versoeke en klagtes luister, dan besef mens dat oorsigbesoeke maar slegs 'n klein deel van die werklikheid is. A home not only provides security to a family, but also pride. That the most important thing is that your home can serve as security at a financial institution. But the main problem is title deeds. Waarom word daar so lank geneem om die titelaktes aan die mense oor te dra? Dit kan mos nie so lank neem nie, en ek hoop dit sal in die toekoms baie vinniger geskied. Die Oos-Kaap het 'n tekort van 60,000 plus minus 60,000 RDP huise. Die getal huise wat jaarliks gebou word, kan nooit die agterstand uitwis nie. Maar wat die departement moet doen, is om minder projekte per jaar aan te pak en onvoltooide projekte party vanaf 2013 te voltooi. Ons in Suid-Afrika sit met 'n groot probleem. Ons ekonomiese groei is minder dan 1%. Ons bevolkingsaanwas is ongeveer 1,5. Ek het vanoggend geluister na een van die sprekers hier. Hy praat van ever-growing community. Die agterstand word net groter en groter. Ons sê altyd, wat kan die regering van die dag vir ons doen? Kan ons as Suid-Afrikaners nie 'n slag sê, hoe kan ons die regering help nie? En minder kinders daarin nie. Want dit is onmoontlik om vir 5, 6, 7 kinders te sorg vandag of te verwag dat die regering hulle moet onthou. Gaan kyk na lande soos Singapore en China hoe suksesvol dit was. Kontrakteurs is die grootste probleem wat ons het in die departement van behuising. Kontrakteurs word aangestel wat glad nie die werk kan doen nie. Hulle is onbevoeg om daai werk te doen. Hoe kan jy na 30 jaar nog nie kontrakteurs hê wat werklik goed is in hulle werk nie? Weet jy hoekom? Want kaders word aangestel. Hulle steel hierdie land bankrot, die kontrakteurs. Ek wil nou vir die een ding sê, vandag, elke kontrakteur waar daar 'n blokprojek is, kan hulle maar gaan kyk en hulle behoort die projekbestuurder, sowel as die persoon wat daardie betaling gemaak het toe te sluit. Hulle word eenvoudig nie toegesluit nie, want hulle word net beskerm deur die Oos-Kaap regering en die res van die land. Litigasiekoste is te duur. Jy kan nie glo hoeveel miljoene word spandeer daarop nie. Bly weg van die hof en probeer eerder om die sake te skik. Om 'n kontrakteur vooruit te betaal is om so goed om te sê, vat jou geld en loop. Jy kry nie weer daardie geld terug nie. Daar moet baie beter beheer en toesig wees. Ek is trots daarom om te kan sê dat hulle nou begin het om kontrakteurs te swartlys. Dit behoort in 'n mate te werk. Ons moet sien dat water voorsien word in alle huise in Suid-Afrika.
Agbare May, your date is up. Dankie. Honorable Mampofu, you have 3 minutes and your 3 minutes start now. Agbare Mampofu.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the Legislature, and fellow citizens of the Buffalo City Municipality. Today, we are critically examining the report of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlement, dated 23rd September 2025. Though it claims to assess housing delivery, Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality, this document is riddled with ambiguities, and the fact that the lack of accountability our citizens deserve. First, the report avoids naming companies responsible for failures in housing delivery. Construction and civils has been flagged for non-performance, yet the report fails to specify consequences, allowing mismanagement and wasteful expenditures to continue
Honorable
unchecked.
Sazio, sorry, Honorable Mampofu, please take your seat. Honorable Saziwa, on what rule?
I'm rising in terms of Rule 80.2,
Rule 80.2.
whether the member can take a question because we're not part of any of these visits. Thank you.
Honorable Mampofu, can you take a question? No. Because of the fact that you are not part of the visit? Or you will clarify that? It's fine. Honorable Saziwa, he can't take a question, but he will clarify that. You may continue, Honorable Mampofu.
Okay. There is a disturbing absence of consequence management. The budget for Airport Phase 2A, yes, Airport Phase 2A soared from the 8.6 million to 13.3 million at 55% increase without any mention of accountability for those responsible. Instead, we see recommendations that fails to tackle the systemic issues behind these financial discrepancies. The report also reflects a systemic devaluation of the tender process, awarding projects based solely on low bids rather than quality, leading to 60% cost variance on site. The delays in Mtanzane Cluster 2 projects now extending to 2027 illustrate a complete failure in procurement management. Moreover, completed housing units lack electricity, creating hazardous living conditions. The report reveals deep-rooted issues in our municipal system that cannot be ignored. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we must address the oversight gaps that perpetuate non-service delivery.
Thank you, Honorable Mampofu. Your time is up. You're speaking about oversight, whereas you don't even attend the visit. Who's going to do that? I now call upon the African National Congress, Honorable Mchachubana. Honorable Mchachubana, you have 14 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Acting Premier of the Eastern Cape, members of the Executive Council, MPLs, the leadership of the governing party, the ANC, Executive Mayor of BCMM and the Troika.
Honorable Mchachubana, please take a seat. On what rule, Honorable Kauli?
That same rule, Chair, that Honourable Saziwa quoted. I just wanted to know if the member would take a question, because we don't know and we've never seen him before.
Are you willing to take a question, Honorable Mchachubana?
I will clarify as I proceed. She must wait, Chair.
All right. Continue.
Traditional leaders and religious leaders, heads of departments, and most importantly, the people of BCM, receive the warm revolutionary greetings from the ANC. Honorable Speaker, it is a great honor to stand in this august house to represent the ANC, the only organization that carries the dreams, hopes, and aspirations of all people. Impula zikalujaca, into ezadla imbuya ngothi. Unlike those on my left, the National Party, the legacy, who continues to use black and African people for votes and nothing in terms of delivery. Chairperson, since 1994, the African National Congress government has almost built about 5 million houses in order to ensure that it gives dignity to the poor and the marginalized people of our country. Naxa singekafiki kuwe siyeza. Chairperson, the great divide in the Western Cape shows the true colors of the Democratic Alliance. The streets in Mdantsane are far better than the streets in Khayelitsha, where sewer is flowing on a daily basis. Honorable Deputy Speaker, it is important that when members come to this podium, they properly read so that they can present proper statistics. In the last quarterly survey, Chairperson, the Eastern Cape has shown as a leading province in terms of growth as it relates to job creation at around 89,000, mainly from construction and trade. Today, Chair, I stand here to affirm the commitment of the African National Congress to transform the apartheid special form, building sustainable human settlements for the people of Duncan Village, Mdantsane, Gobas, and rural King Williamstown. Honorable members, as we take the legislature to the people of the PCM, we do so conscious of the fact that housing is not merely a bricks and mortar, it is about restoring the dignity that was systematically stripped away from our people by the apartheid regime. Honorable members, this metro represents the aspirations of hundreds and thousands of people who continue to look to our glorious movement to deliver on the promises of a better life for all. Olava Tambo once said, and I quote, "We have a vision of South Africa in which black and white shall live and work together as equals in conditions of peace and prosperity." This vision can only be realized when we ensure that South Africa has access to adequate housing and dignified living conditions. This is not a promise we make lightly, nor it is one we take for granted. It is solemnly a commitment that requires us to relentlessly pursue excellence in service delivery. The Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements conducted an oversight visit at the Buffalo City from the 2nd to the 5th of September 2025. Chairperson, what we witnessed was both inspiring and deeply concerning. We saw a potential for transformation, but we were also confronted with the realities that demand our immediate and decisive intervention as government. And we must make a disclaimer here, Chair, that we never visited airport as part of our oversight visit, as the member here would have claimed. Chairperson, we cannot stand and idle when projects that were meant to be completed years ago remain unfinished, with beneficiaries languish in temporary shelters for many years without dignity. We cannot accept this situation where completed houses stand empty, deteriorating due to lack of basic services like electricity. We cannot tolerate contractors who abandon projects and those who fail to pay workers for their hard-earned wages. It cannot be. That's why, Chairperson, as the ANC, we implore on department to continue to blacklist contractors that abandon work and not pay their workers. Ixesha lokudlala liphelile. We can't allow officials of government who sleep on duty, who sleep every day, every month, without delivering services when our people still languish in squalor. Honorable Speaker, the situation in projects like Sportsdam, Ikwezi, tells a story that should shame all of us. Since 2018, families have been living in temporary shelters without electricity and adequate sanitation. Honorable members, 2025 is the year of Freedom Charter, and this is mostly not a vision of the Freedom Charter that our forebears fought for. The reality is glaring across multiple projects where we found contractor failures, project delays spanning for years than months, a breakdown in the very systems that are supposed to protect our people and ensure sufficient services are delivered to the people. Projects that should take 2-3 years are stretching into decades or more of implementation. This is simply unacceptable, and we demand an urgent correction of action. Honorable members, the capable ANC is a solution-oriented organization that does not dwell on problems without providing workable solutions. We are a movement of builders, visionaries, and leaders who transform diversity into opportunity. The King Williamstown Destitute Project demonstrates what is possibly proper project management, contractor oversight, and community engagement work in harmony. With a 94% completion rate, employment opportunities for designated groups such as women, this project serves as a shining example of what we can achieve when we get the fundamental rights and work together. Honorable Speaker, our oversight visit has crystallized several critical imperatives that must guide our path moving forward. First and foremost, we must work hard to improve contractor management. The era of tolerating mediocre performance, fraudulent practices, project abandonment must come to an end, and it begins from today. The department must not hesitate to blacklist non-performing contractors, to implement strict performance conditions that hold service providers accountable. Where contractors fail to pay workers their rightful wages, there must be interventions that decisively protect the dignity of labor. The incidents of work being interrupted due to unpaid salaries that we witnessed are not only violation of workers' rights, but also deliberate sabotage to service delivery. The electrification crisis across Buffalo City housing projects requires an urgent intervention. It is irrational that completed units remain unoccupied because they lack electricity connections. This is not only represent wasteful expenditure because these structures deteriorate, but it also exposes desperate beneficiaries to anger or to dangers of illegal electrical connections that can be life-threatening. The department must work hand in glove with municipalities, ESCOM, to resolve this crisis. We cannot continue to build houses without ensuring that they are fully serviced and ready for occupation. A house without electricity, water, and sanitation cannot be ready for occupation. It is incomplete. It is an incomplete promise. Honorable members, we must strengthen our community engagement mechanism from the planning phase through the project completion. The costly resignment necessitated at the phase 2 demonstrate that what happens when communities are not adequately consulted from the outset. Our people must be partners in development, not passive recipients. This is in the essence of participatory democracy that the ANC champions. We must address accountability gap in the funding relations between provincial departments and Buffalo City Metro. Monies flow from the province to municipalities, but effective oversight and implementation capacity do not always follow. We need to integrate project management task teams comprising of the department, the municipality, NHBRC, to ensure that every rand allocated translates to tangible progress on the ground. We do not want any cent that will go into the pockets of officials, which is meant for service delivery. Honorable Speaker, regulatory compliance cannot be treated as an afterthought. The commencement of construction without mandatory NHBRC enrollment, as witnessed in multiple projects, constitutes a serious violation that exposes government to legal liability, undermines the quality assurance mechanism designed to protect beneficiaries. Such violations must never be repeated. We must also confront the issue of inclusivity in employment creation with honesty and clear intent. We commend progress in employing women and youth. It is deeply troubling, Chair, that across multiple projects, persons with disability recorded as zero participation, and this must be addressed with immediate effect. Honorable Chair, the ANC calls on the department to ensure that housing designs incorporate universal access principles so that people living with disability and elderly can live with dignity and safe in their homes. The challenges we face, from land claims affecting projects to technical completions with bulk infrastructure to coordination issues between different spheres of government, requires sophisticated solutions and enhanced intergovernmental cooperation.
2 minutes.
The ANC government must leverage its presence in all three spheres to ensure seamless coordination and integrated planning. Honorable Speaker, we must implement comprehensive risk management frameworks for all future housing projects. The lessons learned from external dependencies such as SANRAL, infrastructure works, land claim verifications, and bulk infrastructure provisions must inform our planning to prevent similar delays in future projects. Honorable members, the people of Buffalo City, Tanzania, King Williamstown, Potsdam, and Breakbach are not merely statistics on a spreadsheet. They are our mothers, fathers, our sisters and brothers, our children and grandchildren. They are the heartbeat of our communities, the reason we entered in the public service. We owe it to them to ensure we excel in every aspect of housing delivery. Taking legislature to the people in Buffalo City presents us with an opportunity to demonstrate a responsive government, to listen to the voices of communities, to recommit ourselves to the ideals of Freedom Charter, which declared that there shall be housing, security, and comfort. Let this debate mark a turning point, a moment when we demand better from ourselves and from those we entrust with the responsibility to implement. Honorable members, dreams deferred must never be dreams denied. The ANC has been hard at work for 31 years since the dawn of democracy. And the ANC has built more houses in 31 years as opposed to those who failed to build houses for our people for over 350 years of colonialism and apartheid. We dare not drop the ball. We renew the vigor, improve the system, unwavering commitment to accountability, excellence. We will build the Buffalo City and the South Africa that our people deserve. The ANC supports the report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chachuban. At least now, Honorable Saziwa, it's clear that Honorable Mampofu was maybe doing the visit with the TOT subcommittee, because he visited an airport instead of houses that are being built in Buffalo City. We forgive him for reporting on TOT instead of human settlements. Honorable MEC, over to you. You have 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the acting Premier, Abazali Base, Buffalo City, the Honorable Mayor and her collective, I greet you again today. Honorable Deputy Speaker, before I commence with my speech today, I want to register in this House that I take exception kubuxoki obuzothethwa ngu-Honorable King phambi kwaba bantu base-Buffalo City. Honorable King came to this podium exoka ngomama uMeya nomama uSiphokazi esithi sikhuphe izindlu eBreybach ezingena certificate ze-NHBRC. We will, Honorable Deputy Speaker, be requesting a formal and a public withdrawal of that statement by Honorable Peking. All houses in Breibach have final unit verification report from the NHBRC, which is a certificate of compliance providing insurance to the beneficiaries for any defect liability. We will be taking that to the Ethics Committee. For the Honorable Speaker, it is an honor for me on behalf of the Department of Human Settlements, ndime apha ndamkele i-report ibibekwe yi-committee yakwa-Human Settlements. Njengokuba besindwendwele ii-projects zakwa-Human Settlement kumasipala uMbaxa wase-Buffalo City. Sizivile ke izinto ezithethwa yi-committee, siwavile amalungu nabahlali base-Buffalo City, bethetha futhi ki-committee bethetha apha namhlanje. I want to assure this House, but most importantly, the people of Buffalo City Metro, that the department and myself will respond in detail kuyo yonke into ibithethwe namhlanje, kuyo yonke into ephuma kwi-report ye-committee. Sizawulandelela zonke izinto bezithetha, sibuyele ebahlalini base-Buffalo City, sihamba nomasipala, sizise izisombululo apho sine namabatha khona. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Taking Legislature to the People program is a cornerstone of the participatory democracy we now enjoy. Iyasikhumbuza ukuba umsebenzi owenziwa ngurhulumente kufuneka indeed ume phakathi kwabantu, kufuneka ube uphendula ingxaki zabantu. It does provide us with a rare and a valuable opportunity sikwazi ukuphuma pha e-provincial legislature siye ebantwini siyozivela ngokwethu ukuba abantu bakuthi bathini ngomsebenzi esiwenzayo. It is for that reason that I will not waste the precious time of the people of Buffalo City by responding to some of the unnecessary political grandstanding we have witnessed today in this important debate. Our focus must always remain firmly on service delivery, accountability, and restoring public confidence in government. To us, this program is not merely a ceremonial event, it is a practical expression of democracy in action. It allows the people to hold us accountable, to share their experiences, and to shape the policies that affect their lives. Through the pre-visits, we have gained invaluable insight into the challenges our communities face, and these include housing backlogs, land availability, bulk infrastructure constraints, challenges that test our resolve, but also they inspire our innovation and commitment. Before highlighting the progress we have made in this region, allow me to express our pride in having conferred the Buffalo City municipality with level 2 accreditation. This milestone reflects our trust in the Metro's growing capacity to be a critical role player in the delivery of sustainable integrated human settlements. The provisioning of housing remains one of the most tangible achievements of our democratic government. Yet as our economy evolves and people migrate towards urban centers in search of better economic opportunities, the demand for housing continues to grow. To grant the letter, on the 1st of September 2025, the National Housing Register Buffalo City, it will make 117,000 applicants. Now, if all those beneficiaries qualify for subsidy, the National Housing Register as a Buffalo City is out 29.4 billion for just this region alone. But despite these challenges, our record speaks for itself because over the past 5 years, as a department, we've delivered 4,434 housing units up at Buffalo City with an investment of over 1.1 billion. This is a tangible progress that has changed the lives of our people. But that achievement, Honorable King in their blue, abasoze bayibone kuba yenzeka ngeKapa. Currently, the department has 28 projects at Buffalo City. Of those projects, I-top structure, sino zone 1860 on 1,500 units. Sine built-in on 598. Sine Ndevana project on 360. Sine Breibaga, sine airport phase 2. Sine destitute project on 381. Z4 projects.
Sorry, MEC. On what role are you raising on Honorable Cowley?
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. I'm rising on Rule 80.2 and asking whether the MEC will take a question as to why her president says they should follow the DA's example at local government.
MEC, is there any willingness?
Hayi man, nisuka kubantu abarongo ngomso.
Okay, continue, MEC.
In one of the projects visited by the Portfolio Committee, La Pros Dam Ikwezi, the department will be taking over procurement through the framework agreement for the appointed contractor. We are expecting construction activities to commence mid-January. Mdantsane Cluster 2 with the 908 units. We have established quality assurance team which comprises of technocrats from the NHBRC, BCCM and the department, which will monitor targets and implement proactive measures to mitigate any delays. The NHBRC enrollment forms part of the pre-construction activities, and all our projects must receive approval prior to the commencement of housing projects. The department does not make any payment on projects that have not been approved by the NHBRC, and hence we take the lie from Honorable King with such exception. In the Breibaga project phase 1, the contractor remains actively engaged on site, and the outstanding 12 units are on track for completion by end of October 2025. A detailed progress report will be submitted to the committee within the stipulated 30-day. But also, masibaxelela abantu base-Buffalo City, sisebenzisana kunye nomasipala ukuyitshintsha umasipala uMbaxa wase-Buffalo City. I-Bishop Precinct will play a critical role in that regard, because it will enable a mixed model development and an inner Bishop development. I know that abantu abaninzi ke banesikhalazo ngeBhisho nemeko iBhisho ekuyo, baphinda babe nezikhalazo ngeDuncan Village. In this regard, sinayo iMthotho transitional camp,
2 minutes.
where temporary structures are meant to create spaces kaloku nto NEC member in Duncan Village for development of integrated human settlements. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we must, however, acknowledge the challenges that are confronting our work as we do. But not limited to the scarcity of land, we have challenges of land invasion, illegal occupations, and the availability of bulk infrastructure. One of the most serious challenges has been the illegal occupation of incomplete houses, such as the Ward 13's Better Life area, where houses meant for their rightful beneficiaries were unlawfully occupied. This act of criminality has denied genuine beneficiaries their homes, people who continue to endure harsh weather conditions in shacks, while their rightful houses are taken over by those who have no regard for the law. While abanikazi bezindlu bokwenene benethwa zimvula behlele emagalini, working together with BCMM, we have embarked on a carefully and legally compliant process to evict illegal occupants. This has been done with full respect of human rights, but with firm resolve to uphold the rule of law and protect the right of legitimate beneficiaries. The department will now swiftly move to complete the project and ensure that rightful owners occupy their houses with dignity. Our approach on human settlements is dynamic and forward-looking. Further, we are strengthening partnership with civil society, the private sector. Honorable members, we are also focused on enhancing our institutional efficiency as a department. As the Department of Human Settlements, we are aware of the weight of the responsibility it carries. The expectations of our people are high, and rightfully so. We are facing the financial constraints, structural challenges, but our determination to deliver dignified, sustainable human settlements remain unwavering. I want to express my appreciation to the Portfolio Committee for its diligent oversight and constructive engagement engagement. Your work strengthens our democracy and helps us to remain accountable to the people. Together, we will continue to build homes, strengthen communities, and create a province where every citizen of the Eastern Cape has a place to live, to grow, and to dream.
Thank
a
you.
place where they can proudly call home.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Carlos Kate ungachithwa. Honorable members, I put the report. Any objections? Any objections? Thank you very much. Honorable members, we now come to the debate of the report of the Portfolio Committee by members. I will now invite the Democratic Alliance, Aibo. Honorable King, over to you. It's your day today, eh?
Speaker, members and honored guests, I'm so glad Honorable Usiti spoke about the NHBRC on the Breitbach housing project. Honorable and MEC, I will never apologize because Breitbach housing project, people still live in abject, bad living condition, no electricity, sewage running through. And I will send through a prior application on the NHBRC to get that ceased. Yesterday, the ANC benches gave us a history lesson of this country's brutal past. During the matter of public importance, we were taken on a nostalgic journey. The celebration of the Freedom Charter, the words of great liberation heroes, and the reminder that our freedom was hard-won. But, Honorable Speaker, while I heard these words and simultaneously read this report, I thought, Vanessa Bindi, MEC Williams, our acting premier, stood at the podium and lamented, weak leadership enjoy watching people suffer. Honorable Speaker, if so, then this report holds a mirror directly to the faces of the greatest example of weak leadership and weak morality. And what it reflects is the epic failure of both leadership and morality in BCMM. Weak leadership is corruption. Weak leadership is poor governance. COCTA is mandated as an oversight entity. However, the report before us reveals one of two things. Either the department is in gross derelict of duty or it is implicit in the very misconduct it is meant to prevent. The brevity in comparison to the challenges this municipality faces speaks volumes. Honorable Deputy Speaker, it is not a weakness of governance when the Auditor General report that Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality raked up 1.3 billion in irregular expenditure in the 2023-2024 financial year, 10% of their total budget. What does it say about accountability when the Municipal Public Accounts Committee stated this is currently unable to investigate 10.5 billion rand of unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure? En dit is baie geld. As ons dit nou so uitgedeel het, kan ons vir elke man, vrou, kind, oupa, ouma wat in BCM bly, oor 10,000 rand elke gegee het once off. Speaker, at least 2 projects were presented as tourism initiatives form part of this irregular expenditure. The first, Mdansani swimming pool. DA councillors sitting in this house raised these irregularities with the SIU in March last year. The municipality was found to have spent 57 million on the pool, which remains incomplete, and a further 14.5 million rand is supposedly required to rehabilitate it. There is London Waterworld, 110 million rand spent, plus 10 million rand in consultancy fees. No recovery on performance fees, no penalties on contractors, and no one held accountable. And now an additional 42 million rand is needed to complete it. What an audacity. Honorable Speaker, This project was so poorly managed by the municipality could not even reclaim 10 million rand on the performance guarantees from the contractor because the insurer that was not authorized to issue financial services. The municipality also failed to impose 2.3 million rand in penalties on the contractor for not meeting extended completion deadlines. But wait, there's more. Ons is nog nie klaar met julle nie. The same goes for the 103 million rand Grand Prix racetrack, a monument to waste, lying in ruins. And let us not forget the stoop just down the road, costing 100 million rand. The failures are just financial. They are also immoral. When a government fails, it is the people, the elderly, and the voiceless who pays the price. Honourable Speaker, to date, no consequence management has been instituted against officials responsible for the very high rate of irregular expenditure, fruitless and wasteful expenditure, and various directorates in the metro. It comes as no surprise that according to this report, the municipality's ethics committee is not fully functional and cannot address ethical challenges in the city. What stands out in this report is that the relationship between PCMDA and PCMM must seriously be looked at. There is no value for money here, no plans to attract investors to PCM, with projects doing more harm than good to the face of our city. Speaker, what does it say about the municipality when it gives out 2.8 million rand in indigent support to people who do not qualify? This while families struggling under the weight of poverty. What does it say about the ANC leadership when they write off millions in rates and taxes for connected cadre, but punish the rate to rate up for the men and street struggling to put bread on the table? Non-qualifying individuals benefit, while genuine pensioners and unemployed citizens are blocked from services. Honourable Speaker, imagine being a pensioner surviving on a state grant, only to have your electricity cut because you cannot afford 500 rand demanded to unblock your account, while PCM wrote off a big company, SKG's 65 million municipal debt. And MEC, I was there 2 weeks ago on Friday when indigenous electricity was blocked for 5,000 to 6,000 rand. Do you know when our areas are full of dirt? Because only 2 trucks are operational, while 15 refuse trucks do not meet the required standards. The municipality now says it needs at least 10 billion rand to upgrade wastewater infrastructure. If only they spend the money correctly, then we would not have been in this mess. Let us talk about Disaster Management Center, a place meant to protect citizens in times of crisis. The reality? It is understaffed, under-equipped, and undervalued. Our firefighters, the brave men and women who risk their lives, are working without proper protective gear. They rely on cell phone GPS systems to navigate emergencies. They are not given the basic tools to save lives, yet tenders for equipment are handed to connected individuals. At the Fynbos Fire Station, security has deteriorated to such a point that firefighters have been robbed at gunpoint. These are men and women who serve with honor, yet their safety is treated as an afterthought. Honourable Speaker, how can we call this a caring government? The infrastructure is collapsing, the morale is broken, and the people on the ground are left unprotected. Esteemed guests, this government wants you to clap your hands while handing you crumbs. Let us recall the SIU report of April 2025 on the misuse of funds for Madiba's own funeral. 10 million rand was diverted from the indigent service program to funeral expenses. The contract was given to Victory Ticket with no proof of services rendered. The SIU found political interference, meeting held in ANC offices, and criminal cases opened against senior officials. That is not honoring Mandela's legacy, this is betraying it. Do not let them continue to ride on the coattails of the founders of the greatest democracy. May the true liberators rest in peace, while those who claim to follow them have long lost their moral compass. And yes, you are going to come here and say, Honourable King, you were not at the oversights. But let me tell you, April, you were before the committee. We had the oversight in October, the first week. 2 weeks ago, National came down, Cocta, and we sat with them and we had a meeting. They were annihilated by national because of the poor service delivery, irregular expenditure, and the slow progress on the audit action plan. I don't need to be there because taking ledgers to the people is real. As I said before, I stay in this municipality. I was a councillor in this municipality. I was a teacher in this municipality. So at the end of the day, you can spew your apartheid lies. You can spew your lies as being the best to deliver services. But we see the reality. We see sewage in our streets in Pefferville. We see houses not having electricity. We see people being blocked, sitting there at your offices. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable King. Honorable Ngocho, you have 3 minutes.
Oh, Enkosi, Deputy Speaker, Honorable Acting Premier, Honorable Deputy Speaker, noted with concern that the MPEC is reported as unable to investigate the 10.5 billion owing to unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. That is an indication that the public funds are not handled with care, and the committee assigned with the responsibility is not competent to carry its mandate. Again, the failure by management in ensuring that the required information is submitted to MPEC shows the absence of accountability to their principals. On the same vein, the laxity shown by Buffalo City councillors in enforcing compliance is a cause for concern and is tantamount to poor leadership. It is my submission that the collapsing of the established systems to control funds is deliberate in order to cause financial havoc and instability. It must be further raised that the non-functionality of the Ethics Committee compromises the purpose of its establishment. In every finding on the report, it is noted that the municipality needs support. To my analysis, it is an indication that the municipality is unable to work without support, and that it has a bearing in failing to meet its targets. The abandoned buildings in the city that were supposed to contribute to the municipality's revenue signals poor planning without a recovery plan on how to recover the lost ground. The municipality should also be capacitated in terms of the disaster in order to serve the people. Based on the analysis of the report, it shows that the municipality is unable to discharge its constitutional obligation to provide democratic and accountable government, which includes ensuring the sustainable provision of services and fostering a healthy environment. Honorable Deputy Speaker, it was once quoted by Martin Luther King Jr., I quote, you need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love, ukuze ukwazi usebenzela abantu. Enkosi sister.
Ngosi, Honorable Ngocho. Kangibe sayivala ikoti. Uvele wathi ukuze ukwazi usebenzela abantu. Thank you. Honorable Arams, what do you want there? Honorable Arams.
I'm preparing.
You are what? No. I didn't say you must sit down. Go there.
Hey, you are very indecisive today.
You may proceed because it's you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Deputy Speaker, members of this House and esteemed stakeholders. Woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees. That is Isaiah 10 verse 1. Honorable Speaker, the scripture reminds us that the leadership is not about power, it's about responsibility. When our systems fail the poor, we fail the purpose of public service. Today we discuss the report of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. While we note the efforts made, we must speak truth. The report falls short of reflecting the real pain our people endure. Honorable Deputy Speaker, can you please protect me on the right because I can't hear myself when I'm speaking? Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Let's respect one another. It points out low revenue. Today we discuss the report of Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. While we note the efforts made, we must speak truth. The report falls short of reflecting the real pain our people endure. It points out low revenue collection, weak infrastructure maintenance, and a lack of consequence management. But behind these words are communities in crisis, residents losing hope, families living in darkness, and the poor paying the price for leadership's failures. Honorable Deputy Speaker, while ordinary residents are disconnected for owing a few R100, councillors, and in some cases members of this very House, owe Buffalo City Metro more than R21 million. Yet their lights stay on. This is not Batupele. This is hypocrisy. We call for immediate action. Garnish the salaries and allowances of all councillors and officials who owe the municipality. Let the same energy used to disconnect the poor be used to collect from those in power. We also note the situation in Ward 44, Breitbach. The section of the housing project occupied by persons with disabilities has been without electricity and some without toilets for over 3 months. That is inhumane and unacceptable. The Patriotic Alliance calls on the municipality and the department to intervene immediately. We further urge the finalization of title deeds. Families cannot wait decades to own the homes they live in. Dignity begins with ownership. Honorable Deputy Speaker, Buffalo City spends only 2% on infrastructure maintenance, far below the 8% National Treasury norm. Our roads, pipes, and lights are collapsing. Maintenance is not an expense, it's an investment in people's dignity. We welcome support from COCTA, especially in improving water quality because clean water is a basic human right. This report as it stands must be referred back to the committee for deeper consultation with communities. Solutions must come from the ground, not just from offices. As the Patriotic Alliance, we stand with the forgotten, the voiceless, and the poor. Leadership must not be about comfort, but about compassion. Let us lead with conscience, with courage, and with heart, because leadership without humanity is not leadership, it is betrayal. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Aramse. Honorable members, I would love to acknowledge my former boss, the most humblest human being I've ever came across. Mr. Boy, Kaupagamuti Shine, apparently. That's my former boss, Mr. Sandile Boy. He's an HOT in Buffalo City. Honorable Mampofu, you have 3 minutes, and your 3 minutes starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the Legislature, the fellow citizens of Buffalo City, today we confront urgent failures laid bare by the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and the Traditional Affairs regarding the Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality. This report is a stark reminder of challenges we face and the pressing need for action. The findings are alarming. An ineffective ethics committee undermines integrity, while a collection rate of 67.55% falls far short of the expected 80% to 90%. This inefficiency, compounded by 2.8 billion lost to services for ineligible indigents and is unacceptable. Even more concerning is a paralyzed municipal public account. This is a reality. Sometimes, Honorable Speaker, when a person is in denial, he doesn't understand that he's taking his condition to a worse scenario. The declined capital budget from 500 million to less than 200 million threatens service delivery and infrastructure development. In water and sanitation, blocked sewerage pipes, vandalization of pump station, highlight of dire situation with 147.9 million lost, which is 37% of our water supply. Disaster management is actually troubling with an unfunded and and the disaster center that poses significant risk to our communities. As African Transformation Movement, we assert that change is not only necessary, but achievable.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mampuf. Thank you. Honorable Acting Premier, I don't like what is being done by your MECs to Mfundis. Nyawo Nhlelo is a respected man. He can't be called Parara Mingli. It's not correct. It's unparliamentary to call Mfundis Parara. Honorable Nobo, you have 3 minutes. Please don't drown the member, honorable members.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, the Umkhonto weSizwe Party rises today deeply concerned about what this report on Kokta in Buffalo City Municipality reveals. It reveals a municipality that has completely lost administrative control, financial discipline, and moral direction. Honorable Speaker, what we see in Buffalo City is not governance, but it is an insult to the people and organized neglect. Year after year, this maestro receives billions in public funds, yet our people still live with overflowing sewer, uncollected refuse, pothole and collapsing infrastructure. The report confirms that citizens have long said that service delivery in Buffalo City has become a political slogan instead of lived reality. The municipality has recorded 10.5 billion in irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure, while basic services like water and sanitation remain unreliable. The Buffalo City Development Agency continues to drain resources as it has wasted over 120 million on a failed water well project, 103 million on an unfinished racetrack, and 100 million on incomplete parks. These are not projects, but they are monuments of failure and evidence of incompetency by the municipality. Even worse, the report exposes that consultants paid millions to compile financial statements, while municipality officials learn nothing. Honorable Speaker, the MK Party reminds this House, Section 139 of the Constitution empowers provincial intervention when a municipality fails to fulfill its executive obligation. Buffalo City meets every criterion for this intervention. Continuous financial collapse, poor performance, and administration dysfunctional. Therefore, MK Party calls for immediate practical action. A targeted Section 139, subsection 5, intervention with a credible administrator focused on restoring financial governance and enforcing consequence management. A forensic audit into all major capital projects funded in the last 5 years with a report tabled publicly within 90 days, and suspension, disciplinary action against officials and those implicated in irregular expenditure. Mandatory skills transfer clauses in all contested contracts to rebuild internal capacity and dependency. Quarterly progress reporting
Honorable
to the
Ngobo.
legislature, Cocta Commission.
Honorable Ngobo.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy.
Thank you. I thought you were going to close with a quote as well. Thank you very much, Honorable Ngobo. I now call upon the African National Congress, Honorable Hoboshiane. Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Hoboshiane. You have 14 minutes, and your 14
thank
minutes starts now. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you very much. Let's allow him to speak.
Thank you very much, Mbhexeshi wenkqubo. Ndiliwele ke ndicela ndingaxwaxwa. Okwesibini, molweni immediately. Let me only, Honorable Deputy Speaker, elevate my greetings specifically to the people of Buffalo City, for I know that many of them were itching to be part of this important session this afternoon. And I was informed yesterday, Honorable Mayor and Honorable Speaker, that others even wanted to hire their own combis to come and join this bigger session, because there is a noble promise that our people shall govern. And indeed, they want to be part of that history. This is not a child's play. This is not a compliance matter, but it is restoration of dignity for people to hold themselves as they are marching over to their own freedom and promise. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I just want to advise my left sincerely that never try to destroy someone with lies, whilst yours can be destroyed with truth. This is an unknown author. Ungazuzame ukucinga uba uzawuxoka ngobuxoki kanti thina singathetha ngawe ngenyaniso. I'm so disappointed with my colleague, a lady I hold her at high esteem, to come here, glorify and pacify the dangers of apartheid. Maybe she's not aware that so many are still lying in their grave with bullets because they were fighting for the kinds of meeting we are having today only. That is not a time to play, no matter how other trepidation and anger we have, but we must know that sililobole ngegazi labantu elilizwe. Ayonto yokudlalisa le kuba nakugqiba ukuthetha apha akho umuntu uzawubanjwa nizawugoduka nisithi ebesiwuthunyiwe eziwadi zethu umsebenzi siwenzile, because you decided to come here to raise your issues unmediated, because you know you have birthed this democracy under the pain and anguish. So makungabikho xesha la kuzenza bhetele ngezinto ezitya abantu. You need houses only because there is a reason to do so. You need water because few individuals in this country decided to debar us from drinking clean chlorinated water and decided to build their own dams so that they can drink alone whilst we are drinking with animals in the rivers. This is not time to play. This is a time to raise the anger to build this country consciously, that this, when our generation after us are inheriting this country, they will know that there were men and brothers and sisters whose noble objective was to elevate this society from what we inherited in the past. Thank you very much. Buffalo City, this is not merely a collection of wards, a collection of departments and budgets, as we have seen between the 22nd and the 26th of September 2025, in preparation for taking legislature to the People's Session. But it is a symbol of South Africa's developmental state in action, a mirror through which we can assess whether our local governance system are delivering on the aspirations of our own people. It stands as both laboratory of reforms and a test of endurance. And yes, at times, it has also been a mirror of our own shortcomings. Sifuna idolophu, honorable leaders, idolophu zethu ziphucuke. That is what we want to see in Buffalo City. Ilokishi zethu zikhuseleke, abantwana bakwazi udlala, parks are maintained. Iqonce lethu libe nomkhitha, libe clean, libe ne-lights. Ibhisho yethu, which is our flag bearer of this province, the capital, the administrative seat, must be decorated by green and new flowers. Flags of Buffalo City, side by side with the country's flag, must fly high because that is the only seat of government that we have. We cannot compromise that promise. Honorable Executive Mayor, through you, Deputy Speaker. Ilali zethu maziphuhle kubuye ithemba ebantwini bakuthi. Intlutha kubuye namasiko nesithethe. Sakwenza lonto, this city will be breathing life to our own citizens. When we speak of Buffalo City, we speak of a place of contrast, Deputy Speaker. The industrial hub of East London, the human vibrancy of Mdantsane, and the historical corridors of King Williamstown, and the rural heartland that feed its soul. It is a macrocosm of our nation, challenged, ambitious, and evolving. And today we take stock of its service delivery record, its governance trajectory, its institutional transformation. We must do so with honesty, balance, and purpose. For we know that oversight divorced from fairness is tyranny, just as praise without truth is propaganda. We must also acknowledge one of the pressing challenges faced by many of our municipalities, the issue of water outages, which have affected our communities across the province, including in Buffalo City. We must equally acknowledge that Buffalo City continues to face significant challenges that threaten service delivery. The collection of rates, which is still averaging 67%, still below 80 to 90, but with an effort that is multiply applied by this institution. Water and sanitation infrastructure that is also facing severe strain. Treatment works operating with expired licenses, and an amount of 147.9 million loss of water, which is indicated in the last year audit. These are the things that this municipality must attend and address. The Disaster Management Center remains understaffed and under-resourced, and there is no dedication of 24-hour call. It's something that we have managed to listen, led by the chairperson. Many abandoned derelict buildings are now safe haven for criminals and not contributing to the city's treasury. But because we are here, let me begin with government that meets the most sacred duty, which is service delivery. Over the past 2 years, Buffalo City has made steady strides in restoring dignity of basic services through targeted investment under Urban Settlement Grant, USDG, Neighborhood Development Grant Partnership, and the Human Settlement Grant and other grants. The city has accelerated water and sanitation upgrades, rollout of electrical and roads network maintenance program, and advanced electrification of informal settlements. And some of the people here confirmed that. And this is in addition to investment done through our own revenue, which is generated by this municipality from consumers due its service offerings, rates and taxes. And that is what now we are able to confirm as the African National Congress. And I think going forward in partnership with the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Spaza Shop Support Fund was launched on the 8th of April 2025, trying to provide to the people of Buffalo City 40,000 grants for stock purchase, 50,000 blended finance for infrastructure and refrigeration and shelvings, up to 300,000 for registered businesses, support township and rural enterprises to grow and create jobs, sustainable livelihoods. Additionally, 613 individuals benefited from creative sector programs, which is spanning from film to theater to dance and craft and literature and fine arts. 150,000 was allocated to support tourism business, especially most the pandemic situation. The city has also invested in hawker stalls to formalize and support informal traders. You can go to Mzomhle, which is Ward 29. You can go and see the stalls that are for food and saloons in wards like Ward 16, which is NU 16, Ward 23, and concrete slabs that are now ready for 4 vendors. Ward 9, 4 stalls for accommodating food vendors and their own saloons in those areas. Buffalo City honorable members continue to deliver, though there are challenges admittedly by the ANC. Upgraded landfill operation and Round Hill and King Williamstown meeting the DFFE standards. Implementation of greening and cleaning and beautification programs across CBDs, tourism areas or tourist areas, student villages, and residential communities. They are trying their best. We have managed to say some. A new fleet procured to improve efficiency, I think 7-ton trucks, 1 tipper truck, 10 Isuzu buckies, and 4 sedans trying to respond to the demands that our communities have raised today. The public employment programs have been successfully rolled out with the Border Kai Chamber of Business focusing on street lighting, gutter clearance, and illegal dumping and control. This is the work that this municipality is trying to do. The Service Delivery Friday campaign is also making a difference through grass cutting and bush clearance around the entrances, community spaces, and high visibility zones. And I think you need to continue to do this work so that people can percolate the livelihood of the Buffalo City and intertwining town, cities, and township so that people can be energized to come and invest in this particular city. For those children at the back who see visas in the armpits to one day apply and get work in their own town. That is what we want to see. We urge all residents, Deputy Speaker, to support this collective effort and keep our city clean, safe, as well as sound. And we have been and seen road resurfacing projects linking communities previously isolated, neglect and stormwater upgrades, reducing flooding in vulnerable areas, and the rehabilitation of key wastewater infrastructure such as in Zwelicha and Ristin water wastewater treatment works. These are not only the abstract achievements. They are tangible signs of a municipality slowly regaining its rhythm, where taps that are once dry now flowing water, where roads that were impassable now connected to livelihoods, where there is streetlights symbolizing not only safety, but also resilience of governance. We need this thing to be strengthened. Bani ngathi nisebenza ngamandla nto zakuthi ixesha asinalo. When I'm coming to the governance, as I'm descending to the end, we know that the lifeblood of service delivery is a sound governance, my leadership, through you, Deputy Speaker. And this area, Buffalo City, has begun a quiet but profound turnaround from the history that was marred by instability and audit regression. The municipality has clawed its way back to administrative coherence and institutional discipline. Albeit visible challenges and coherence, it has strengthened internal controls, restructured its supply chain management committees for efficiency and transparency, and implemented a comprehensive municipal governance, quality assurance, and oversight unit to enforce consequence management and quality review of decisions. This is what we want to see as the movement of the people. And today, the Audit Committee, the Municipal Public Finance, the Municipal Public Accounts Committee, and the Internal Audit Function as genuinely assurance lines, not as a ceremonial bodies, but a living guidance of accountability. Municipalities' finance reporting environment, once riddled with disclaimers and qualification, is now guided by the deliberate pursuit of good governance, and clean administration consequentially lead to clean governance. Uba siyabhutyuza into asizibambi kakuhle asizuba namiphumela ecacileyo, but kufuneka kuhlangana umbono wabalawuli nombono wabantu abakhokheleyo kube kuphucuka kwezinto esizenzayo singabambani ngokufelele entamo ngonobenani abantu bexakekile elizweni into zakuthi. Indeed, focus has shifted from compliance on paper to accountability in practice, from bureaucratic paralysis to institutional resilience. Xa ndizawuniyeka ke into zakuthi mandiye kwiphepha lokugqibela endizawuthi ke kuni Buffalo City developmental record is also reflect of growing synergy between governance and growth. And I think lama hili asuke apha ayotshona eAmerica athetha bonke ubuxoki ngathi nobugwenxa bexoka abazubona ubukumkani bamazulu. Kuba namhlanje sikule ngxingongo nje yokwehla kwamandla okuthenga nokuthengisa inqwelo kungenxa yabantu abayi45 abafuna uyohlala eMelika kanti bazawugada imoto pha ezipakisha ezivenkleni besigqwalisa ilizwe abazalwa kulo nenzala yabo. May God look after them perfectly well for the shames that have they managed to do. In conclusion, Chairperson, as I depart in a minute, even if we recognize progress, we must continue to call for a greater urgency. Our citizens' patience is not infinite, and their trust must be continually earned. The real measure of success will not be reports or resolution, but the lived reality of communities where refuse is collected on time. Whether all potholes are fixed, whether waste is safe, water is safe to drink, whether young people find opportunity within the city rather than seeking it elsewhere. Nisebenze ngenyameko niphathane kakuhle ninikane izidima namathuba elilizwe lelo khokho bethu sizabalazela lona uThixo anigcine. Thank you. We support the report.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable members, I now call upon the member of the Executive Council, Honorable Williams, who's a member, who's an MEC for Kokta.
Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, I want to go to memory lane again on a history lesson. You know, we have serious apartheid apologists. And ndifuna uyithetha ke ngoku ngesiXhosa le. Umntu uba niyakhumbula ngela xesha le-apartheid, amagerila ayebanjwa, uSpeaker lo waseBuffalo City. Xa bebanjwa, amabhulu into abebenza yona abebatorturisha. Utorturishwa kufakwa la balaclava ikwenza ungakwazi uphefumla. Ufakwe nombane apha emzimbeni. Kuba kufunwa uthethe inyani uba usebenza nabani. Kula meko ke yotorturishwa, liba khona ixesha lokubana ngenxa yoba utorturisha ubusuku bonke ungalali, ingqondo yakho iyatshintsha. Wahlukane nokokuba umbone lo mntu eyi-enemy yakho lokutorturishayo. Itshintshe ingqondo yakho imbone njengomntu ongakunceda kule torture ayenza kuyo. Utshintshe ke ngoku uqale ngenxa yoba kudala ungalali kudala ubethwa. Umbone ngathi ngumuntu onakunceda, then uqala uthetha. Uthethe naye umxelele zonke izinto, but wena ingqondo yakho ayisebenzi ngoba you are too much tortured. Zezi apartheid apologists ke ezo. Zitorturishwe gqithi apartheid such that zicinga uba zinoncedwa ngaba bantu abangazuzinceda. Okwesibini, kukwaba baperpetuate apartheid ngokubabona. Lanto kwakuthiwa yi-Group Areas Act. Yayisenza i-braid bar, ihlala amakhaladi wodwa. Nezwezwe ihlale abantu abamnyama bodwa. Abanye abatortured ngaba ba-operator ngobana bathi we're going to mobilize coloureds only. We are not aimed at uniting everyone in South Africa. Now, those are other people that have been tortured by apartheid because they use the apartheid systems to perpetuate division of black people. Now, when they talk about Buffalo City, they link it with unemployment, poverty, and inequality. Two countries that are dominant that actually suppressed us in this country. Gama-Britane nabantu base-Netherlands. The professors, those two countries are known to be very protective of rights of ownership of property. But what did they do with us as blacks? Including colored people, coloreds, blacks, and everyone who's not white. What did they do? They disempowered in terms of property ownership. And today, we are propertyless, we are in poverty. That's why inequality is still perpetuating, because we are propertyless. These are apartheid apologists that stand here with confidence. Now, what they do, they talk about Mandela. They loved Mandela, but they hated his people. Now, it's so frustrating when apologists come here and talk about Mandela and decontextualize Mandela from his own people. Uzosixelela uba banesibindi, uyazelaphi loo nto. Now, there's this misunderstanding about irregular expenditure such that it's so much distorted. Irregular expenditure, Tina, we understand what it means. If you don't disaggregate it and understand what constitutes it and how it arose, you will come here and distort information. Because what the portfolio committee says is that some of the irregular expenditure surpasses the time of this current council because of old evergreen contracts. Now, those contracts, this portfolio committee says they were appointed pre the MFMA. But members of our opposition do not read the report. They read only the area where it favors them. The same findings of the portfolio committee are saying in Buffalo City, only 2% of the communities are not covered in terms of water services. They come here, they deliver, or abandiva bantu bakuthi. But abayifundi le ndawo ithi iBuffalo City ku 100 ngabantu abayi 98% abanawo amanzi. Only 2% ayinamanzi eBuffalo City. Now, they deliberately don't read that because they want to perpetuate untruths about this municipality. And Tina, who are working here, Honorable Deputy Speaker, we've deployed a team here in Buffalo City. I was here a month ago with the Deputy Minister of Kokta. We deployed a team of 11 members, including engineers, corporate services, finance, and everyone. Why are we doing that? We are implementing our own constitutional responsibility. If they know the Constitution, I must not be asked why. Because my role is to constitutionally support all municipalities. Now, this municipality, because they ran to Israel, these apologists, they ran to Israel. And within a day, they came back and said, there's no apartheid in Israel. Fail hard. Fail hard. You can't say in Israel there's no apartheid when the Palestinians are living the life they live.
2 minutes.
And I am saying, in Buffalo City, Honorable Deputy Speaker, what we have done is that this irregular expenditure they talk about, we're currently busy with it. And we're going to clear it. Tina, we're not going to hand it over to somebody else. We are there, we're going to clear that irregular expenditure. Because we're there, because we know what we're doing. And secondly, the Public Accounts Committee, as enunciated by the Portfolio Committee, is saying we need a report that tabulates those contracts so that we can clear the... We said, wait for us, we will bring that report so that you clear this irregular expenditure. The last issue, Honorable Speaker, is service delivery to the people. What we are doing is that the Premier's Office, Provincial Treasury, COCTA, we are establishing a team to look at service delivery, especially in the 2 metros of our province. Those are economic hubs of this province. And what we are doing is to ensure that we support them, because many companies are going to retrench people in the 2 metros. And what we are going to do is to say, how do we crowd in investment, working with the cities?
Thank you, Honorable.
Yini madoda?
No.
Ndisafuna uphendula abawayo.
Hence, Honorable Mokhatosi asked why. Do you want to allocate him some more time so that he can respond to your question? Thank you very much, Honorable.
Thank you.
If everyone was agreeing, I was going to give him some more time, but it's only one member that asked why. The rape-ins that were announced to have been lost yesterday are still here. So can it belongs to you, Councillor? Oh, okay, thank you. Councillor, stop losing these things. You will lose votes, stop losing rape-ins. Thank you very much. You will get it from the ladies over there with brown shirt. Thank you very much, honorable members. I put the report. Any objections? Thank you very much, honorable members. Honorable members, all the reports for the day have been dealt with accordingly and duly adopted. That then concludes the discussion and the business of the day. The House will adjourn until tomorrow, the 23rd of October 2025 at 10 o'clock for the reports on agriculture, community safety. Councillors, community safety, as well as final mandate report on 2 public service bills. The House stands adjourned.